Okay, we're back. Welcome in. We're good to go. Kind of jam into the little music here. Did I already burn out all that? Wow, I did. That's okay. Wow, that went wacky. That's okay. What's up, Melissa? Welcome back. Welcome back in too. BDH, what's up? How you doing? Good to see ya. Took a few minutes longer, but sometimes things happen. Got to take care of a few things. We got it all down. What's up, Koi? How you doing? Welcome in. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back to part 2. We're just kind of jamming away. We are making some glass. All right, we got to pull this down a little bit. There we are. And we are solo streaming to YouTube right now, so it's all good. What's up, Dragonfly? We are just on YouTube right now. TikTok is good, but man, it puts a lot of strain on my resources for the internet. Streaming to both at once. I can do it for a while, but does put a little strain on the system, I have to admit. All right, let's rumble. Yeah, everything's good. Just takes a minute sometimes to get stuff done, but yeah, everything is good. All right, let's create a... I think I'm just going to do a basic icicle right now, just warm up again. See, that's why I warm up. Just stuff like that happens. So yeah, we're kind of jamming on some orders right now, and I'm creating a few things. Like all the stuff I'm doing tonight, if it's not sold, will go into the mystery boxes, mystery bags, grab bag, whatever you want to call it. And there is a ton of amazing stuff in this next batch. Because a few people have said they wanted a dibs on a few things that didn't follow through. And that stuff's going into the grab bags. And they just miss out. And there we go. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dragonfly. All right, we're going to use that really thin. No, I should probably save that. I think I have another idea for that. We're going to kind of go a little bit on the red, white, and green candies. That's just peppermint stick. Although I think this just might be white and green with uranium. So this is that green sparkle uranium. I should do a peppermint stick out of Lucy and uranium. With some white, that would actually look good. Have all three of those colors bouncing through. Oh, that's good. Everything's going well. Luke, what's up? All right, so we got some stripes running down. We're just going to do a very basic ornament right now. And then we'll get a little more complicated as we go filling orders. So first thing to do, we got to bring all the color to the center. like that. Give it a little bit of a twist right there. I keep thinking I got short punty rods here, but I don't see one at the moment. That'll have to do. Do I have a favorite glass to work with? Yeah, I mean, I work with borosilicate. Are you talking colors or styles, or what type of favorite glass are you curious about? So the glass I use is called borosilicate. Common brand is Pyrex, if you're wondering about type. How did I first get into glassblowing? I grew up with it. So my mother started when I was 2 years old, and eventually my father got into it as well. And so I had a whole family of glassblowers. All right, so we're going to heat this up and we're going to spiral it around to give it a nice twisty. Turn it into a little icicle ornament. I do like these. They're super strong. These are not fragile. I mean, they can break, but... So the difference between the tubing and the solid ones break way faster than the tubing. The tubing, for some reason, it must be the compression or the way it's organized or designed or something, but the tubing always is much, much stronger than the solid glass versions of these. Got to get a little bit of a fix in here. Went a little wobbly right there. Actually, I'm going to do this one as set of 2. We're going to make a standard icicle, and then we're going to make a mini to go with it. So we'll do standard and mini. So we're going to put a little hook on it. All right, so we're going to make the standard, and then we'll make a super mini off of it. We can get 2 out of 1. This will be a set. Not available like normally to purchase, so this one will definitely be a one-off, or it goes in the grab bag box. So this is a light green uranium with the white, very classic looking style. Now we're going to make a mini. We'll take that little, what I would normally throw away, and we're going to turn it into a usable item. You just have to line it up right. I'm just going to have to bring the flame down. It's too much. that twist a little good right there. We're good. Put a little hook on it, and this one will be done too. So this is a set. There'll be a large one and a small one for our ornament. Create a little hook. There we go. Stab it in there. So we'll cut it off right where it gets a little skinny right there. And then this will, again, this will be the set. So a little mini ornament for a small tree and the bigger one for a bigger one if you want, or both. Can do it either way. Raw Dog Art, thank you for the thumbs up. Sabrina, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this out so I can show you when it cools off a little bit what the uranium's doing to it, but we're gonna make it look good. Next thing, I need to tackle another peppermint swirl. So in between custom stuff, we're gonna do some peppermint swirls. Yeah, the memorial stuff is one of the things that we specialize in. We just finished a memorial. I'm going to bring it back up because it's freaking awesome. Come on. I'm going to show you guys a really cool picture of a memorial I just finished. I finished the marbles, but I had no idea she was turning it into this. So all the gumballs in here are memorial marbles. Actually, let me see if there's a better photo of that. There. A little cleaner. So yeah, he was a candy maker or in the candy business. So she made all the I made all the memorial marbles. I had no idea she was putting them into a gumball machine. What a freaking fantastic idea. I wish I had thought of that one because it's super amazing. Okay. Yeah, it's about $2,500 to $3,000 to get started. It's a lot of money, but once you buy your initial equipment, it's not so bad. The equipment doesn't really wear out. You know, once you buy your equipment, you can, if you treat it well, it lasts a long time. And then you can always upgrade later to different tools and torches and all that. It's a great job. I think it's absolutely fantastic. You know, I'm hoping that AI isn't something that can take over for a while, but I think I'll be safe for a little bit. Yeah, I love the memorial business. It's a lot of satisfaction in doing something for a family. It really helps the families a lot, like the travel marbles that I did that I showed you in the gumball machine. So I think what she said she was doing with the gumball machine is there was a bunch of family coming over and everybody would turn the thing and the gumball would come out, which was the memorial. And whatever memorial they got to keep. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, all good. All right, so we're preheating this right now. I'll show you what my life looks like through my glasses. This lens is like my glasses. We're going to bring it in, and now you can see versus that. So that's how I can see what the heck I'm doing while working. it filters out a lot of that stuff. All right, let's add some white and turn this thing into a peppermint swirl. Let's go. Oop. There we go. So we're going to stripe this down, usually about 5 or 6 lines. I can't remember how many. I kind of just know the gap in between them. I think it's 6. This would be line 4. Yeah, 5. And 6. So we got that running around. Keep it straight. So we just basically stripe the lines down there. They don't have to be super straight right now. Oxygen and propane are the 2 gases that I use. Propane because it's super clean and it's easy to get. It's easy access. You can use natural gas, but natural gas will be a little bit cooler. It won't be quite as hot. And if you use a natural gas, you have to get a pressure builder, a natural gas pressure builder, because it just doesn't have enough pressure to run on the torch. All right, this is the red color. Unfortunately, this color goes super transparent and doesn't come back for a little bit. So it makes it hard to see what that final piece is going to look like, but I think I got one in the kiln I can actually bring out, and then I can show what it'll look like later. It's been sitting in there long enough. So, yeah. Oh my God, I almost missed one. All right, got it. No, yeah, my hair is all natural, all natural. All right, so we're going to take it and we're going to spiral this up. Create a nice little termination at the end with a spiral. And that should give us a nice little peppermint swirl at the end. So this one is designed to look like a peppermint swirl, like the candy. The peppermint mint, that you get at little restaurants. Kick it up a little bit. All right, and then we're going to melt it down. Bring it out. Don't go sideways on me. It's wanting to flop around right now. All right, we're good there. And here we go. Now we're going to flatten it down so it looks like the peppermint candy. And that just happens natural with gravity. Just kind of angle it a little bit. Yeah, we're doing ornaments right now. I'm going to break up in between peppermint ornaments and random stuff and cool stuff. It is kind of late. Yeah, I know. But, you know, Santa elves don't sleep, right? I got to keep working. Got to get the orders out. What is it? Make 12 small red and white Christmas mushrooms for me, about 1 inch tall, little tree. I would consider it. Let me make one right after this, okay? We'll do a little mini mushroom, okay? So 1 inch, that's pretty small. But we can do a prototype. That's a small enough prototype, it won't take me long. Hello from Greece. Welcome in from Greece. Good to have you on. Happy to see ya. I want to go to Greece really bad. You have some amazing ancient ruins that I want to visit. I definitely want to go to Greece for the ancient ruins. I'd be one of those tourists with the camera buzzing around going, oh my God. I love history. Ancient buildings, structures, all awesome. Went to Pompeii. Man, that was amazing. If you ever get a chance to go to Pompeii, I would definitely go to Pompeii. I was walking down these streets in Pompeii that are thousands of years old that people were walking down. I was just like totally blown away. Australia, that's on my bucket list too. I'm definitely going to Australia. I was trying to ask people where to go, and everybody said the Gold Coast. They said Gold Coast for Australia. Because I like planning out a few years ahead. All right, let's add a hook on here. Mobile, Alabama. Absolutely. The UK. Haven't been there either. Yeah, Pompeii was just amazing. And I know this is a kid-friendly channel, but I'm going to say it anyways. It was amazing how the brothel in Pompeii was set up. It was on the tour, so I guess it's just history. But they had a brothel, and oh my God, they had a menu. And not only did they have a menu, but they had a satisfaction board on the wall. I couldn't believe it. Stockton, California, I know where that's at. I lived in Tracy for a very long time. I was in Tracy. Yeah, I did a whole tour of Italy. I think my favorite place in Italy, though, was Florence. I loved Florence. I don't remember the black and white church that's there. I don't remember the technical name. I just remember walking down this aisle, this walkway, and turning a corner and seeing this massive, massive church in black and white. I literally stopped in awe. So Everywhere in between that white will be red eventually. See how it's coming in? See, that's what it'll look like when it's all completed in the kiln. I can actually leave this out for a little bit. Maybe. Put it up here. There. So let's see if the black light's showing up on this. So we did a couple icicles with this. Yeah, the green is showing up a little. It's still a little hot, but you can see it's kind of got some green to it. I haven't been to Brazil. That's something I would love to go in. What's up, Portland? I know Portland very, very well, too. Finished high school in Ridgefield, Washington, just north of Portland. My mascot for high school was a sputter, a potato. That's after I transferred high school. I went from being, a horse, a colt, to a sputter. My high school mascot when I finished was a potato. I was cool with it, though. How's my fire white? I'm a wizard. We're making Christmas ornaments. We are filling orders right now. And every once in a while, I'm going to pop out a custom order. Cape Coral, I know that one, too. I lived Sanibel. My store that I had with my ex-wife was on Sanibel. It still exists, but Camino, you're right down the road from me. You're literally right down the road. Come right off Camino and you'll hit my town. You know what it is. I know, it was an odd mascot. You know what was worse? So we went to our football games and they would throw potatoes at us on the field because we were the sputters. So they'd throw potatoes at us. I didn't care, though. I was like, I don't care. Give me your best. But yeah, they'd throw potatoes at us. I do not stamp my creations. I have a different philosophy on my artwork. So I don't like stamping. I don't like signing. I'll give you, if you want a certificate that matches your piece, I will print you out a certificate with the photo of your exact item, especially if it's custom, like a COA, certificate of authenticity. But I do not like stamping the work because I think it ruins it. I really think it ruins it, especially when you're doing like memorial glass. You don't want to stamp your name in someone's memorial. I would just, no. Right now we're going to do one more peppermint swirl, then we're going to do something unique. I'll probably bring the audience in on this one. We'll do that. Yeah. No, not really. I don't sell a lot of places. I'm mostly online. Placerville, know that place too. You got Red Hot Casino right next to you. Or right down the road. All right, so we're just adding the white stripes on here. Then we're going to add the red. Oh, I forgot I was going to do the mushroom. Hold on. Let me finish these white stripes. We'll do the mushroom. I totally forgot. We're going to make a little 1-inch mushroom. I got to figure out how to do a hook for that, though. That's going to be the hard part. So we're gonna make a little 1-inch red and white mushroom. Folsom. Yeah, I again, I lived in Elk Grove for a long time. Grew up in the Bay Area. Moved to Florida. Lived at Sanibel. Live in Washington. Been all over the place. The only place I haven't lived is Texas, where I kind of like Texas. I had a good time driving through it, but I haven't actually lived there. All right, so we got the white. I got to park this real quick because I told someone I would do a custom mushroom. We're going to do that. We'll prototype it. So we're going to make a mini mushroom. You live in Cape Coral. Awesome. Yeah. Like I said, I had a store on Sanibel. But I got divorced from my ex-wife, so I wanted to move as far away from her as I could possibly get. So I moved all the way to Washington, directly, diagonally, as far away as I could possibly get from her. So that's how I ended up in Washington. As many miles as I could. Right, there we go. Oh, yeah. I always tell people I was married to the spawn of Satan and I lived, so nothing can hurt me now. Lonnie, thank you so much for the happy poop. All right, let's add the red. So the red's going to take a minute for it to kind of like actually work. It disappears and then it comes back. Yeah, of course. All right, let's go. Let's add in the red. So I'm going to do the red top on here. We'll add some white dots to it with the mushroom white stem. Should look pretty cool when it's done. Thing about small is it is not necessarily easier. Smaller can definitely be much harder. Do I teach individuals or classes? No, I don't teach anyone. But if you watch my live streams, I explain a crap ton. And if you have a question, I don't mind answering a quick question. You can learn a ton from watching other people. But I always answer questions. I mean, I want to see people succeed. You know, let's face it, I'm not going to be around forever. So if I could help someone get better, and yeah, that's why I'm on YouTube as well. I actually have a Darth Vader mold out of glass. Or I can make it out of glass with the Darth. I had the mold. I just don't know if I want to cross that boundary. No, I am not self-taught. I learned from my mother. All right, 1 second here. I got to add these little dots. And this is where I'm not a big fan. This item that I'm working on right now, which is a mushroom, I would do it bigger. But this is one of the very first items I would learn to make if I was starting out today, is a mushroom. 2 reasons. One, it teaches you how to push, pull, and manipulate the glass in a certain way. Secondly, they're always people love mushrooms. Who doesn't like a mushroom? Who doesn't like a mushroom? You know what? I've never met anybody that hates a mushroom. Anybody ever met anyone that hates a mushroom? Seriously? I mean, I know people don't like eating them, but like the look of a mushroom? I don't think I've met anyone. All right, so this is, now that top is going to go completely red. We're going to need to wait for it to kind of start doing its thing here. You hate mushrooms? Really? Well, you're the first person. I had never met anybody that hated the actual mushroom. Eating it, yes, but not the actual item. All right, we got to make a tiny little hook for it too. This is the hard part. Actually, I'm going to park this in the kiln real quick while I make this hook because it's not going to cooperate. And please tell me I got some skinny mini. Nope. I'm going to have to do it the hard way. All right, we got the little hook done for the mushroom. Could I make a mushroom with a little green tree from... No, I wouldn't be able to do that. Basic mushroom. You should get Mark Ellinger. Yeah, I don't know. I think Mark's doing his own streams, to be honest. I mean, we always refer people back and forth because we do 2 totally different types of glass. So like if I have someone wanting a particular item that I know that would suit him and his style, I always refer. And when he has someone that wants something that he knows I make, we refer back and forth. Oh, look at it. See, I told you the red starts coming out. So the red is just now starting to come out. It's not fully engaged yet. How old am I? I'm a speed limit. All right, got that on. I got to finish the mushroom bottom here. How's Pyrex to work with? The brand itself is okay. I mean, they've gotten a lot better. I use different borosilicate. I use Shot and Cymax are my 2 preferences, but I had recently got some Pyrex and it was pretty decent. So So yeah, the Pyrex was fantastic when I got a hold of it. It's the newer stuff, so I'm pretty okay with it. For a while, it was pretty terrible. Back in the day when Corning was actually making it all the time, they had two plants, one in Japan and one in New York. The one from Japan was always way better. All right, so I got it. So we got the little tiny 1-inch mushroom. Got to wait for the red to pop in a little bit, but yeah, that's the bitty mushroom. Then we're going to tap that off. Smooth it out. There we are. So there is, we're going to put it in the kiln and let it get a little redder. Red will come out a little bit more. I got to make room. My kiln's filling up. Get back there. I have to use this to push everything back because it's 1100 degrees in there. That gets freaking hot. All right, let's go. We got a little purple. Purple. It'll slowly cool down after I'm done with the day. LFGTV, thank you for the laughing disco. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to make a candy cane, but I'm going to do it out of purple. I like doing things that are oddball. So we're going to make it out of purple. We're going to go purple. Purple, white, and I might throw a little uranium in this one. So this will be the purple we're going to use. Now, this purple is going to change. Actually, we're going to use purple, black, and white. Have that. Let me grab black. This is going to be a beautiful candy cane. Got to preheat it though. Yeah, I definitely kept a lot of starter pieces. I actually have a self-portrait of myself when I was really young. If you guys want to see the self-portrait of me when I was really young, you can type one in the chat and I'll show it to you. I have it nearby. Just type one in the chat. All right, here we go. Preheating it. See if anybody wants to see. Oh, you do want to see it. Okay. I was also really young when I made this type of thing, so. Oh wow, we got enough ones. Okay. Let me where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Hold on. Yeah, we got enough. Yeah, I did finish the birthday cake. It is sitting in the kiln at the moment. No, it's not burning my hands. Okay, so this is my self-portrait. I did it when I was very young. And I was a lot skinnier, so it's going to be hard to recognize me, but here you go. There you are. I was super skinny, very fast, agile, and yeah, you can see the hair matches. I matched the hair. All right, let's do this. The hair's still there. Same color hair. All right, let's make a candy cane. Sorry, my humor's a little off sometimes. Yeah, you weren't expecting, nobody is. That's the funny part about it, though. All right, so we got the white on there. Oh, I just showed the self-portrait. Then we're going to bring this down. We're going to add the black. This is going to give it, the black makes the purple stand out a little bit better, and it makes it a little bit darker. I don't know the concept behind that, but for some reason, the black makes the purple go a little darker. It just makes it pop a little bit better. And it doesn't take much. But the result is just absolutely beautiful. All right, so we came through here. We're going to stripe this all up. We're going to spin it up. Do I sell some? I can. So the original thing from that was when I was learning glass blowing, I tried making snakes and worms. And that's what ended up coming out. And all the parents and adults were laughing their asses off at that. I was super young. I didn't even know what I was making, but they were all laughing. You know, and then later down the road, I figured out, you know, oh, yeah, that probably didn't work out. All right, so we are, but yeah, that's what it came out like. Some of my first items that I was learning to make, I wanted to make a snake out cool, right? Yeah, different kind of snake. All right, we're getting a nice twist on this. Super nice twist. Sometimes they just work out really, really well. So we got a nice candy cane twist there. Purple, black, and white. We're going to burn off the little bit right up here because this won't work if I do it. Leave a big nubby up there. I'll see if I can pull it down a little bit, but a lot of times this doesn't work. It's a fail most. Oh, it actually kind of worked. Ooh, maybe. We're halfway there. It might not. There we go. This is actually gorgeous. I might have to repeat this. I mean, I like it as an icicle, but I said I was going to turn it to a candy cane. So it's purple, black, and white. All right, let's turn it to the candy cane. Yeah, these colors are gorgeous. Should sell the portraits? I could. I don't mind making them. Should I send them express mail? Keep within the theme, express mail. All right, here we go. I don't like using any molds for these. I just like freehanding it. Kind of makes me feel like I, did something with it, because you can use a mold for it, kind of. That doesn't feel right to me. Bend it a little bit. It's a little too much in the end. I got to pull a little bit off of it. It's too much there. That's better. So I do love this color. I'll shine the light on it. You'll see it a little bit better. We'll bring it in. Oops. Damn it. Almost did that again. Oh, there's my flashlight. I'm going to try and get it in the camera, but I hope you can see some of that purple coming through. It's absolutely stunning for the color. It is a gorgeous color combo. And they don't need a ribbon. They only need a ribbon or string, or you can just hang it off the tree. These are pretty durable. There. And then they'll just hang. I like wrapping a little ribbon around it and hanging it off that. All right, we got to finish this guy up. With molten sugar? Are they really? I didn't know. I don't know how a candy cane is made. I know how saltwater taffy's made. I used to cut school all the time and go down to Santa Cruz Beach and They had a saltwater taffy place there, and I used to sit there and watch them as they would do the saltwater taffy, which was really freaking cool. No, I'm not wig-wagging it. We're turning it into a peppermint thingy. Turning it into a peppermint thingy. Peppermint swirl. And here we go. So this red is going to go completely transparent for a while. It'll come back to red. We're going to come through. Got like 5 or 6 of these to do. And one more, I think. Yep, one more. Then we'll turn this into the peppermint swirl. Ever made chess pieces? Long time ago. Oh, really? They should. Logan's Candies? Send it to me, Dragonfly. I would love to check it out. The liquid filled they cheat. So you have to leave a little hole in it. And you fill it with liquid, and then you have to use, I personally used a material called ultraviolet glue, UV glue. And I would seal, after the liquid was all in there, you would seal it with the UV glue. And it was so clear, you couldn't really tell where that hole was. But yeah, you just make a tube within a tube, leave a little bit of a hole, and then fill it with liquid, and then seal it with UV glue. Other people use other types of glue. I'm not familiar with how that works for them. I just know what worked for me. All right, we got a little spiral going through. Now, again, the red will show up later. It'll look like that when it's done. But right now, it's not going to show up. It takes a minute. Okay, so we're going to bring it down. Just let it compress. Put this over here. And to think I cleaned my bench earlier. Now it's all a mess again. I might make another 0 tonight since I had broken the one before. I was so mad that I broke it. We might make a 0 here after this. If you want to see the ghost dog made after this, type 1 in the chat. If you want to see the ghost dog being made. Now, I will warn you, it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to do that dog. So it'll be a slower project. If you want to see faster projects like a hummingbird that's 6 or 7 minutes, type 2. So 1 for the ghost dog, 2 for a faster project. I'll let you all choose the direction. Oh, yeah, ghost dog 1. All right. We'll make the ghost dog right after this. Yeah, we'll do it. Not a problem. I kind of want to make it, so it'll be fun. It's a cool piece to watch. All right, let me pop a hole in here. Now you have to put a little hole in there. If you don't, the piece doesn't have a way of breathing. So every time you start, after you would seal this up, every time you hit it with the flame and you get it hot enough, it would start, the heat would expand and push the glass out. So you have to have a little exhaust port for the hot air. All right, let me finish this up. We got about another minute and a half, and then we'll start the ghost dog. Yeah, I broke it. It's an IKEA dog now. Got to self-assemble it. Put it together yourself. It was my own fault, though. I mean, I placed it in an area, and I walked by it. My sleeve caught it and just knocked it 4.5 feet on the floor. And that's not going to survive a 4.5 foot drop onto concrete. No, not the same as a carb. I mean, you already have a bowl hole for a piece. Carb's just extra. Yeah, you don't need a carb to finish a piece. You need either a carb or the hole in the bowl, but you don't need both. There we go. All right, let's put a hook on it and make ghost dog after this. So now I'm going to cover about 99% of that hole that I had placed in there. That gives me my marker for where to put my hook too. So it kind of does two things. Lets the piece breathe, but it also gives me a marker of where to put the hook. Yeah, we're good. Then you just tap off. So there's the completed. Now it'll look like this one down here when it's all finished. Oh, you can kind of see the red starting to come in, but it doesn't come all the way back until it sits in the kiln for a little while. But when it's, is this hot? No. It'll look like that when it's all done. All right, let's do the ghost dog. I need to prep one thing for it. I'm hoping I have one of these tiny little rods here somewhere. I do, thank God. Okay, so I have a couple choices. We did the uranium collar with the ghost dog. I was thinking about doing purple, or we just go with the orange and red collar. But there's the uranium right there. You can see the nose really lighting up and the collar. But I was thinking either purple or just go traditional. While you guys are voting, I'm going to start making the ears. I can use smaller bits for this. There. The orange nose, keep it traditional. I think so too. But Someone had asked about purple, and I thought I'd just put it out there. I love audience participation. It's like super good for me. Okay. Throw that away. All right, so we're going to start off. We got to make the ears first. Oh, purple and Lucy's not a bad idea. But the nose won't show up with the Lucy unless you have a black light. I can't do that. Yeah, the Lucy just won't show up on the nose unless you have the black light. Okay, yeah, the mushroom, we can definitely, you saw that it looked okay. There we go. I think we'll do original if we get enough people staying and watching and we get enough likes. Where are we at? I don't know how many likes we have. I'll check it here in a second. Maybe we'll do a goal. If we hit a goal of so many likes, I will do another version in purple. So right now we just flattened it. The dog only looks good in one particular white, one version. The glow, it won't look good. The glow has kind of like a sandblasted look. And it never, it won't look good with that. I definitely had thought about it. All right, so we flatten this piece out like that. Then we're going to give it some bends. 273, okay. We'll do a second ghost dog if we hit 400. All right, let's bend this thing up. Oh, that snapped off. Glad it caught it then. Okay, we're going to burn it off there. So I have to pop these in the kiln until we're ready to apply them to the dog itself. So there's ear number 1 all set to go. Yeah, we are making 0. Correct. Or, as I like to say, the ghost dog. All right, we're going to do the second ear. You kind of have to make it ahead of time, plant it in the kiln, leave it all nice. We might do a little custom to it. I have an idea maybe, but we'll see. I can kind of mix a few colors and create something amazing. You can hide little hidden stuff in glass. All right, let's go. We're going to flatten this. So this is what it flattens like a little disc. Forgot to do this. Hold on one second. Hit record. All right, so there is the ear that we're making for the ghost dog. Now we just have to give it the bendies. Okay, there is ear number 2. So that's where the ears go on. All right, we're going to do the actual head right now. So we're going to work on that. And then once we get the head done, we'll make the body and then we'll assemble it. And it'll be an amazing, amazing thing. All right, here we go. Okay, we just have to get the shaping right. I probably used too short a rod, but I'm just going to suck it up. I'll deal with it. When you get this close, it does get a little warm. Okay, and then we'll separate this part right here. I'm going to add a little bit of bulk to the back here. It's not quite big enough that I'm comfortable. There we are. That's better. And all right, we're good. So this is the beginning of the shape. You can see it starting to form down here. Then we got to flatten it a little bit so we can make the area for the mouth. So we just give it a little bit of a flat spot right there. Set that there. We're going to create the mouth. Then we're going to put it together. And here we go. Well, shoot. That didn't work out. Got to redo it. I got way too aggressive and flattened it right onto it. You need to leave a gap. So we'll fix it. Glass is very forgiving. That one I got a little too aggressive with right there. All right, we'll try that again without the fail this time. Yeah, we do have the wolf. If you guys want to see the wolf, I'll bring that out while we're making the ghost dog. We'll bring it a... This I like because I don't like adding a lot of color to the actual animals. If I can help it. Hopefully this one comes out without a fail. Okay, got it. All right, let's fuse it together. Got to make sure that blend is really nice. Doesn't look all janky. All right, we're looking good. So yeah, the wolf has a really nice base to it as far as the... When you carve into the glass, you don't have to use color. You can actually get layers in there and create texture and give it that three-dimensional look. All right, let's put some eyeballs on and the ears and the nose, and then we'll move over to making the body. All right, let's put some ears on. Oops, crap. Here we go. All right, we got ear number 1 going on. And now we'll put second one on. Ever burned myself? I've gotten tiny little burns. I don't have one of those really cool stories where I got burned really bad. I just don't. Like, I know a lot of people have gotten some serious burns. I just don't have one of those. Make sure this is super attached because we're going to need this. I have to have this to hold on to it when I attach the body to the head. All right, let's burn this off and put the little pumpkin nose on there. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of orange. All right, so there we got the head going. I am going to put a little Lucy on the very tip of this. We'll see if it shows up. It won't be very visible. Give it a little tiny marker. All right, so we're going to park that in the kiln and we'll make the body. The body is the trippiest part. The body is done totally oddball. And make sure I got enough for the body here. I'll find the thickest one I have. Here we go. All right, here we go. So we're going to make the body. Oh, I need one more thing before we go there. All right, let's rock it. And there we go. I am dyslexic. I'm 1,000% dyslexic. All right, so we're making the body to the ghost dog. This part's a total trip. When I first started thinking about how to do it, there were several different ways, and I couldn't figure out which way I wanted to try it, and I went to sleep, and I woke up, and I had this idea for it. Because there's more than one way to form these things, but I try to look at the most efficient one possible. Okay, then we got to make a little wide disc here. Lots and lots and lots of glass. And here we go. A lot more. Thing is, I'm trying to build up enough so that we have an entire, like, the bed skirt sheet of the dog. Need a lot of glass. I don't want to make this super thin. Then it becomes extremely fragile. Okay, I'm going to attach a second rod here just to kind of use it all up. Technically not the way you're supposed to do this, but it works. This is year number 31. Yeah, Lucy was the name. The reason it was named Lucy is Lucille Ball. Red. That's why it was named that color. You came across from doom scrolling? That's awesome. All right, we're almost there. We should have enough here in just a minute. A little bit more, a little bit more. All right, so we get this kind of cone shape. And that's how it starts out. Now we're going to be using a couple different tools with here, very basic items, nothing overcomplicated. We're going to use a regular pair of needle nose pliers and some cutting shears to make the body. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flatten it. We're going to use the needle nose pliers and go around it and create the skirt. No, this is solid work. No air pressure needed. After this, we'll do some blown glass ornaments. Maybe. So there we are. We got kind of like this little weird looking thing, right? All right, let's create the skirt for it. So there we are. We created that kind of indented stuff all the way around. So now we have a skirt. First thing I have to do is create the front legs, the paw, basically the paws up there. And in order to do that, we're going to take some scissors and we're going to cut across. Like that. So now we just cut it with the scissors like that. Next step, we're going to start extending those legs out. Attach here. Like that. I always think this thing looks like the Millennium Falcon. I say it every time, but doesn't that look like the Millennium Falcon now? I should totally make one of those. All right, so we got the front part done, like that. No, this actually has to go to an order. That's why I said if we get enough likes, I'll make a second one and we'll do it in purple. But this is actually has to go to an order. I forgot I actually had one on order. I had one completed, but I dropped it and broke it, so I get to remake it now. And here we go. So we're going to pull the tail. Separate it. And there we have the body all set now. Now we just have to put the collar on and attach the head. And it will be good to go. I have to use one specific red for this. That one. And this is for the collar. So now the collar will come in red later, but right now it's just kind of in its transparent form. And here we go. Oh well. But that collar will come in eventually very, very nice. It just needs to sit in there. I got to park this in the kiln temporarily so I can remove the tail afterwards. No, I don't do Santa's reindeer. I'm not really good at it, to be honest. It's not a good thing. All right, let's see where we're at. Did we get... Okay, analytics. I can't see the likes in here anymore. I don't know where the little thing is. Wow, they changed the whole studio thing up. I don't know how many likes we have. Damn it. Your activity. Okay. Analytics. Yeah, they're not there. So while we're trying to figure it out, I will knock out a quick ornament, and then if we hit enough likes, I'll do the 0 and purple stuff. I just have to get the right purple. There's one particular purple I would use with it. It's like the unicorn of colors. 258? Yeah, can't. I said 400, so gotta set a goal and hit it. Come on now, snap. We'll make a quick ornament real quick and see if we can get them up. Seriously? There. $417 current. Red Squeak will let me know. All right, so we're going to pull this down. I appreciate that. I know you would. All right, we're just going to do a quick ornament while we're figuring it out. I gotta fill these ornaments too. I got tons of orders I have to knock out. So I'm trying to do like entertaining in between it too. But I have a lot of orders. I have like 60 of these to make. All right, we're going to move the Lucy out of the way. Look at that. That was the Lucy. Can you see the pink? That's the Lucy going. Yeah, if we get to 400, I will absolutely make the ghost dog with the purple collar. We'll do a purple nose. We'll throw some uranium in there, even some Lucy. I'll make it all look good. Put some tanzanite looking purple in there. Love tanzanite color. Tanzanite's my favorite color on the planet. Love tanzanite purple. Okay, so we're going to stripe this down with some white and some red, and hopefully we get up to 400 likes, and then we can make the ghost dog in purplish. So the interesting part about striping the glass, I try to explain how it works to a lot of people because it's different than like writing with a pen. The flame varies in temperature up and down here. So this is a little colder, hotter, colder. So you want to keep the rod, the color rod you're applying, in the same general area of the flame so it melts at the same pace. You got to move the object, not the color. So I kind of equate it to if I gave you a pen and paper and said, write your name, and you kept the pen stationary and you had to move the paper. It's always the best method, I think, for applying color. You know, just watch. I'm going to stay in this zone. And the object moves. That way it can keeps a consistent heat base on the actual color. When I used to train people, that's exactly how I trained them to do this. Works way better. How did I ever figure that out? I think just trial and error. Yeah, because I would try and apply color, and you'd start, and it would get really smooth, then lumpy, then smooth. Wasn't working very well. So just had to figure out a new routine. The one thing I'm constantly looking for is how to shave 30 seconds off an item. Every 30 seconds, over a month on every item, you could get a lot more done. Okay, that one's getting short. And 3 more. And 1 more. And there we go. Where did I learn the trade? From my mother. My mom started in 1972. And so I pretty much grew up with it. And she learned when, people were not very nice to women in the industry. Must have a hood in your shop to pull out all the talk. I am very open air. No, we're not doing the pickle. I can make a pickle later, though. I've been upgrading all the pickles to uranium glass little bumps. It looks really good. Doesn't affect the overall look without a black light, but when you put the black light on, you got the little pickle bumps glowing. That looks amazing. All right, we're gonna turn this into a peppermint swirl. I always tell people starter setup, set aside 2,500, 3,000. No, hotter isn't going to be, hotter wouldn't necessarily make it faster. You still have to wait for the glass to cool down, and heating it up isn't the problem. It's the cool down that you have to wait for. I'll explain it just in a minute. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we're getting the whole thing hot. We're kind of letting it shrink down. I call it the hurry up and wait. You hurry up to melt it in, you shape it, and then you got to wait. And 3, 2, 1. We're going to blow this open a little. So it's kind of round. We're going to flatten it a little. All right, so I just flattened it. If I started to go at it right now, you'll see it start to droop down or it sink in. And if I attach a rod to it, it'd totally mess up the swirl. So when you heat it up, you got to heat it up, get it in shape, keep it spinning, and wait. This is the hurry up and wait part. You say the same thing at work from time to time? Yeah, it's hurry up and wait. Actually, I got that back. I got that from the Marine Corps. Hurry up and wait. All right, let's pop a hole. Now that is a little breathing hole so that when I go to seal the tube off, it doesn't create this vacuum seal in there that's a mess to work with. Because if you don't put that hole in there, every time you start heating up the glass, the hot air will push it out. You're gonna say, yeah. Don't have to thank me for my service. Thank a current soldier. You know, you see someone in uniform, thank them. They're the ones that deserve it. But I appreciate it. But yeah. And don't forget about the Coast Guard. They're always ignored. I could not have been in the Coast Guard. They have a hard-ass job. All right, so we're going to take this and spiral it up. Tell me that doesn't look like Strawberry Shortcake's hat. We did one earlier. Does that look like Strawberry Shortcake's hat? I'm serious, right? All right, so we're spinning this up. Bring it out. I got a lot of waste on this one. That's a lot of wasted glass right there, color-wise, but oh well. It reminds you of Toad from Mario. Yeah, that's the other thing people comment on it with it. So we're just going to take it and flatten it a little bit. Gentle push. And there we are. Now that red will come back in later. What happens with the extra glass? I actually take it and grind it up into a material called frit, F-R-I-T. And it's like a ground up glass and about the size of sea salt. And you could do some really cool stuff with it. Like the snowman pattern is the frit. And I just take all that and recycle it into frit, and I get all these weird colors from it. And that's cool. I don't mind that. I need a shorty. So yeah, I recycle as much as possible. All right, we are going to add the hook on here. So where that hole was, I am covering about 99% of it right now. I leave a little sliver so it can still breathe while I do all this, but 99% of it's covered up. You will barely see it. And that's why I put the hole right there so I can add the hook and just basically hide it. Just got to make sure this is round. And straight. Nope. Damn it. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna pop it off. So just tap. There we go. Then it melts in. You get both sides all nice. And it'll eventually look like that down there. I don't remember the price of these, to be honest. I just can't remember every single price. All right, let's detach the tail for the ghost dog. So let's detach it. And not drop it. Okay. There. So I can't leave it out for very long, but there's the one we had done earlier. Now I could tilt the head a little bit later, but I kind of like it up right now. Damn it. Hold on one second. I got to move some stuff in my kiln. My kiln's pretty full at the moment, so I got to move a few things, and then we'll go on from there. All right. That's as close as I could get. All right, Red Squeak, where are we at? I can't see the light number, unfortunately. It does not tell me. I don't know where they moved it on here. Unless I expand it. Hold on one second. Nope. They did not move it. Okay. Oh, we're at 330. Oh, okay. I can see it now. 330. All right. Well, that's close enough. Let's just do it. We'll make a purple color. Let me go grab the purple that I need. I'll be 1 second. Microphone still works. And we're going to grab the purple that I want to use. If I can find it. Nope, 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 nope. Yep, that one. This is a really cool purple. I liked it. It looks kind of pinky purple, but it's going to be an amazing purple up against the white. It's going to look fantastic. Okay, so first thing again, got to make the ears. This time we're going to go a little faster though. There we go. And I've got a mess and a half up here. All right, I'm going to grab some smaller rods to make the ears out of. That is not the right color. All right, got it. All right, let's do the ears, and then we'll start with the head, make it all up. We are still accepting holiday orders right now. Should be able to get there before Christmas. About the 15th is when I cut it off. All right, here we go. Which we did just load up the mystery box, grab bags, whatever you want to call it, in the Etsy store. And those are a fantastic value. The grab bags are $35, and you get at least, I'm going to say at least triple that in items. But it's a mystery box. You get what you get. Everything is first run. There's nothing that is like seconds, or I don't sell seconds. It's all first run, but most of it's stuff that I've done on the live stream. Like if I do this 0 and nobody purchases it, you know, with the purple, and nobody does a purchase, then I will throw it in a grab bag. You never know what you're going to get. Some people have gotten items that are, you know, $150. That's the point of the grab bag. And we do it really fair. So we box everything up, and then we print out all the labels and just start slapping labels on boxes. So nobody gets to choose what they get, or we don't make it so it's not fair. All right, let's do the other ear. There we go. Ear number 2. And we're going to pull this one out. So we just stretch that flat part out over as long as you possibly can, keeping it safe. And you just start doing the bends. Burn it off here, and then we'll make the head just like we did before. Do the body. Well, I really need to move that piece in the kiln 1 second. I'm so sorry. I do need to move it. It's just getting too scary in there. There we go. It's the only time I need a glove when I stick my hand in the kiln. It's 1100 degrees in there. I like hearing that this is ASMR. I like it. I was thinking about doing a little part of that as a channel. All right, so we're going to make the ghost dog head real quick. So it's kind of weird how I put stuff together. It's backwards from a lot of other people. So I'm trying to build up bulk. A lot of people do it this way and let gravity like molten glass fall down. I'm the opposite. I kind of go from the bottom and I push it up into the molten part up here. For some reason, I have a lot more control this way. As long as I keep the rod centered in the molten part, everything's good. And we're just going to keep going. Got to make it a little bit bigger. Level it out a little. Yeah, I can't wait till we start implementing the horizontal view of the live stream. I have 3 cameras set up. I'm still recording. Crap. I have three cameras. One of them will have the didymium lens over it. So you can see part of it in a filtered environment, but you can watch the main stream in the regular view. So there'll be tiny little sub windows of cameras going. All right, you're not cooperating there. Hold on 1 second. Went backwards. All right, there we are. We're back in shape. As to bring it out, just stretch it a little bit. Start forming that really distinct nose. And before you finish the nose off, I got to work the rest of this, but you overextend it. You can always remove excess, but it's much harder to add in there. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat. Who's that? Macedonian Quest? I'm so sorry I butchered your name. I'm just going to call you Quest at the moment. Thank you. Thank you for that, chat. All right. So we're going to kind of round this out. And then we got to flatten it where the mouth is going to go. But yeah, you want to make it a little longer because you can always remove. But if you make it too short, that's the part that sucks. So we're flattening it out right now where the mouth is going to go, the little lower jaw. Okay. So we flattened it out right there. If you wanted to make a single color, the papers in. I just do it my own way. Appreciate the advice, but I'm good. That should have fixed it. I hope. Sorry, we had an internet issue there. There we go. We're good. Okay, let's put this thing back together now that the internet decided to go wonky on me. Normally my internet service is super stable. Where did the black rod go? Eyeballs. All right. I'll use this one. Let's add the little eyeballs on here. Okay, we got the eyeballs going. Let's put the ears on. No, not that one. This one. I like doing this with one ear up and down, one down now. I think it looks a lot better. Bend this over just a little bit. because I'm going to need it to be up a little for placement. And we're going to separate it. We'll put the purple nose on. Okay, let's get the purple on here. Now this will look a little darker after it cools off. It's going to look a little odd at first. But once it cools, it'll look amazing. So there we got the purple going on the nose. And now we got to do the body, and we'll do the collar, and all done on that one. No, I don't want to do that there. We need this. Get off. Yeah, we got flood warnings here too. That's why I'm kind of trying to pump out the live stream too, because we got some serious rain coming. Usually that's not too bad. The winds can be bad, but the rain isn't usually a problem. But I got the stupid alert on my phone. How many hours do I work? At least 8. Yeah, I am Sylvania. That's what I'm saying. That's the area I'm kind of in. Not directly there, but close. And we got definitely flood warnings. I'm located in Washington, Pacific Northwest. All right, so we're building the body for the dog real quick. And here we go. Got a lot more to go. I'm going to probably consume just about all this rod. But got to build it really slow, get it right. Keep pushing it too. I started my full-time job 31 years ago. All right, I'm just pushing a lot of this glass together because it's going to take a lot to make the little dog skirt, basically the tail, the feet. The actual neck part doesn't take that much. The rest of it takes a tremendous amount. I'm just trying to heat it up evenly and keep it super clean. We're almost there. I'm probably gonna use this whole rod up again. These things are expensive as far as how much glass goes into it. This is a very expensive color. All right, we're going to grab it a little bit here. Just use it as a punty rod. There we go. And now we're going to keep pushing. Last little bit, we're getting close. This will allow me a lot of flexibility to be able to make the ghost dog skirt really well. So we kind of have that little shape. So we're going to take it, we're going to flatten it out. Then we're going to use needle nose pliers. I always tell people you don't have to have super expensive tools all the time. Needle nose pliers are an essential tool. You can get them anywhere. And then we'll have some scissors. Unless I just put them away. I did. You can use normal scissors, but these are cutting shears. They're a lot better. But if you're just starting out, you don't need cutting shears. Do I do any glass networking? Not sure what you mean by that. We're going to flatten it down like that. So there, that's the shape I want to start with. Now we're going to take the needle nose and we're going to all the way around. This is what I was saying. These are super amazing tools and cheap. You could literally burn up a pair a week and not have a problem. Now I've had these a very long time, but so that is what the needle nose plier did. See how it kind of stamped it out a little, created a little bit of a skirt look. And we're going to cut the front part for the legs. We'll use some shears. Now we're getting to the point where it'll be pretty fast. This won't take long. So you slice it right down the middle, right there. How much is the small 0 pieces? I think they're 60, if I remember correctly. They are consuming this white glass is extremely expensive. There are other manufacturers that make a white, but not like this. And this particular brand is incredibly expensive, but also worth it because it makes the dog look so much better. Again, that's the Millennium Falcon look. Then we're going to pull it out the other way. Okay, we're going to grip it and rip it. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to pull a lot more than I thought. I was getting skinny. Okay, that's good. A little bit of shaping right there. So we're almost done. We're getting close. Yep, Molten Aura is very expensive. It's the only one I would trust for this particular piece. The swirl ornaments and all that, I can use Star White, no problem. But this, I only trust the White Lotus. Or Lotus White. All right, we're going to pull. This is the tail portion. I think it's okay. We're going to pull that off and trim the rest. Then we'll put the little collar on, assemble the head, and it will be done. A little too tall right here. There. All right, let's add the purple. And here we go. I think this will look good. The purple is going to look fantastic. So that's where the collar is. All we have to do is put the head on there and it should be good to go. And let's bring it out. You're going to move it a little bit. It is not set right. The angle was all wrong for it. There we go. Too hot. There we go. Now the purple, when it cools down, will look a heck of a lot better. And you got the little purple nose up there. But I do have to pop it in the kiln at the moment because the tail got a little cold. Almost lost it though. That was a little bit crazy. Almost lost the whole thing. Now comes the part that I hate. Got to assemble things together. But this is part of the job. This is the sucky part of the job. You know what? I think I got a bleepy button. Hold on. Guys, I think I got a bleeper button. Forgot about it. Okay, we're going to separate the tail, and that one should be done. Just needed to be in there for a minute. But yeah, it's definitely got the purple. I like it. The purple looks good. So there it is in purple. The collar and the actual nose. Actually, it looks really good. I can't wait to see it cooled off. I learned from my mother. My mom started in 1972. So, did anybody miss the self-portrait tonight? Did anybody miss my self-portrait that I made out of glass? If you want to see the self-portrait, type 1 in the chat. If you missed it, I can bring it back out real quick. I made a complete self-portrait of myself out of glass. It was a younger age, but If not, it is getting late though. Wow, it's almost 1 o'clock. Okay. Wow. Okay. You guys missed it. You want to see it? All right. Again, I did it when I took it when I had a young image. So I was a lot younger, same color hair and everything though. So yeah. All right, here you go. This is me when I was really, really young, and it's one of my self-portraits from a very long time ago. I was a lot skinnier, a lot faster. But yeah, that's my self-portrait. Got to end it on a fun night, right? You just got here. There you go. All right, I got to take this and separate it too. Yeah, it's kind of I'm sorry, my sense of humor is sometimes a little off, but it's okay. All right, we're going to bring this out, separate that. I'm going to take that and turn it into something else. Anyway, it is probably time for me to call it for the night. Yeah, I got to pack a bunch of orders up. Thank you, Dragonfly. Thank you, Terry. Hey, I still got the same color hair. I'm actually thinking of doing that with spikes. I don't know yet. Spiky hair on it. It'd be funny as hell, right? All right. I do have to get going because I am going to have to pack some orders early. And I appreciate all of you hanging with me. Seriously, YouTube has been a fantastic platform to hang out in, and all of you have been fantastic. I really mean it. I appreciate you. So I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope you subscribe and come back and see me. Check out the streams. You all have a good night.